Hey guys, I feel like I just need to get something out of me before I can start enjoying my day. It is Mother's Day today, and I did not have a really good start. I had a lot of body-wide pain and inflammation, didn't have the best night of sleep, just a lot of like end of pregnancy aches and pains on top of like my normal inflammatory chronic pain stuff. So I did take some Tylenol, and Kameron made me one of my green juices, which really helps with the pain and inflammation. So I'm starting to feel a lot better. I'm starting to feel like myself again. But mentally, I just feel like I have a lot. And I need to get it out so I can start enjoying my day. As some of you know, yesterday, the 11th, Saturday, was the 1-year anniversary of my mother's passing, and I spent that day in my sewing room. Well, half the day, because I didn't really get up here until Kieran went down for his nap. And I ended up making something I've never attempted to make before, which is one of these little elastic gowns for newborns. I had found this fabric at Joann's for $1 in clearance, like the remnants section, and I just grabbed it because, you know, it has the daisies. It was a pattern that my mom had given me, and I was going through all my baby clothing patterns, and that one just spoke to me for some reason, so I put it together. It was easy, and I'm really, really proud of this. I then also grabbed some fabric that my mother had originally gotten for Kaia and started making that one as well, but by the time I got to here, I was just really exhausted, so decided to call it a night. But I want to finish this one today. I've been having a really hard time the last couple of days because baby girl is facing my back. Like, I can actually physically feel her back against the front of my belly, and because she's facing my back, I just don't feel as much movement, and that causes anxiety for me. I have been regularly checking her heart rate, and even this morning I kept it on there for a good 10 minutes, just sort of watching the accelerations and everything and making sure that her heart rate was kind of in the range that I typically see on her NSTs. And it was. And of course I could hear her moving around on the Doppler, you know, make blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I just wasn't feeling it. I really feel like she's getting into that birthing position, and it is not helping the anxiety whatsoever. I think the other thing that is really, really heavy on my mind is the fact that we are approaching our first daughter's death gestation, like the gestational age where we lost her. And I did not have to approach that with my son because I had PPROM and they really wanted me to be induced early, because by 34, 35 weeks, the risk of infection outweighs the risk of being born that early. So we did induce at 35 weeks. But with this pregnancy, they have no real reason to do a preterm induction. So I have to reach and go past our loss gestation. And it's something that me and my lost mom friends talk about often, that it's like one of the hardest things to have to do, is to go past that gestation where we lost a previous child. I really, really understand exactly what Rochelle Swanee was going through when she lost hers earlier in the second trimester stillbirth, and she had to pass that every single time with all of her subsequent children. And I couldn't imagine that, like, having to do that, like, with my son, because like I said, we induced early, but I really, really understand it now. It is something that just looms over you, and I feel that it's probably going to loom over me until we go past that date. I still don't have my induction date. I am waiting on that. My OB says he's hoping to have a date by early this week. I really, really don't want to go past 37 weeks. You know, I want to be in the hospital and be hooked up to monitors and have her being taken care of and just get her out, you know. Like, I really don't want to spend another day pregnant past 37 weeks. I'm just gonna have to accept and white knuckle it through, you know? We're coming down to the line where it's like, I have less than a week now until 37 weeks, and I still don't have a date, and I really just want my induction date so bad. I want to know when we're going in and just have that plan set in motion and everything. Right now it's just still up in the air, and it's just like, I feel like my shoulders are up here waiting to find out. But I know that my OB has to, you know, discuss things with insurance and all that stuff, and schedule things with the hospital. So I need to be patient, as anxious about it as I am. And it's not just me, you know. Kameron is going through his own, he calls it a silent PTSD. It's like, it's not right there at the forefront of my mind, but it's like back there, like silently. He says it feels like it's in his body. Like, he just feels like he's waiting for the other shoe to drop. And like, people at work are noticing that he's, you know, kind of stressed out and everything. And they're asking him, hey, are you okay? You know, because he's lost a lot of weight recently. And he's like, yeah, I just need this baby to come. I just need her to be born. It's going to be a major relief for both of us. It's just going to be nice to finally have her home, I think. It's just only going to get better from her coming home. Anyway, sorry, I know that wasn't fun and lighthearted and, you know, a cute little intro to vlogs that you typically see, but I feel like I was paralyzed all morning this morning. Not only just because of the pain and whatnot, but because of just everything going on up here. And I feel a lot better getting it out. So if you made it this far listening to me, thank you. Thank you. Now to something that is a little bit more lighthearted. Yesterday, as I said, was the anniversary of my mother passing, and there was something that happened at night that was like really bizarre. So we put Kieran to bed, and sometimes he'll just lay there in the dark and like kind of just be awake until he just falls asleep. And at some point, me and Cam are sitting there and chatting, and then we hear him laughing. What's going on? Is he playing? He's just laying in bed, looking up at the ceiling, and then like doing this with his head, and he's just laughing hysterically in the pitch black. And we're a little bit creeped out. We're like, can he see something that we don't see? This goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes. He's laughing really loud, like something is very entertaining. And like I said, it's dark in his room, so we don't know what he's looking at. And then Kameron turns to me and he's like, you know, can your mom just tell us when she's gonna visit? Because this is like, this is really creepy. And I was like, oh my gosh, I bet it is. That's so bizarre. That never happened. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe he just had some giggles he needed to get out or something, but it really looked like he was watching something up on his ceiling. But yeah, that's just the explanation we've decided, is that it was my mom visiting and making silly faces at him, or it was like my mom and Kaia visiting. I mean, that sounds nicer than it being like, why is my son laughing maniacally in the dark by himself? You know? I feel better. I feel a lot better just getting all of that out of me. Thanks for letting me vent. I think I just needed to get it all out. It's been a morning. Anyway, I'm gonna grab some ice water and then I'm gonna get to finishing this. The hard part is honestly finished, so I just have to turn it out and then serge up all the sides. Oh my gosh, how sweet are these? This one is basically finished. I just have to put in the elastic like I did on this one. I had honestly been wanting to do something with that fabric for such a long time. I did have something in that little pink box behind me that I had already cut out for Kaia, but I lost all of the instructions on how to piece it together. So I'm going to have to figure out the pattern and download the instructions or something to be able to finish that. But I had this leftover little bit of fabric from those days, and I'm really happy that I was able to make something with it. The elastic casing's not too hard. I just fold it over, and this is the closest thing I had to 1/4 inch elastic. I believe it's 1/2 inch. So I kind of just pin it up and gauge it based on the size, and I just kind of do that the whole way around. Okay, the bottom is pinned, and I'm just going to go around with a zigzag over the serged edge, and then I'm going to feed my elastic through. Oh, that pink thread actually looks really adorable, zigzag next to the floral print. Now, my mom actually taught me really old school how to feed elastic through an elastic casing, and that's with a safety pin. You just like move it along. I'm sure there are tools that make it a lot easier, and if you are somebody that sews and know of a tool, please let me know in the comment section, because I don't even have a safety pin. So I have been feeding it through with my tweezers, and it's not exactly easy, but I'm gonna do it. The newborn size calls for 17 inches of elastic, if I can figure out where I put my ruler. Okay, ready to feed through in the worst possible way. I mean, I guess the plus is that it does work. Did we make it? We made it! Woo! I just want to make sure it's all laying nice and flat and not flipped anywhere. See, a good thing I checked, because it did flip there. All right. 2 sweet little floral sleep gowns that I've made to welcome our baby girl. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I might have to add garments like these to my shops, because it was super easy to make. Like, it's quick. Once I knew how to do it, it was like super quick to make these. And I just think they're like really functional items for newborns. Anyway, I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my Mother's Day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I finished this project, and just really listening to me get some of that trauma out. I feel so much better. And you know, fingers crossed, pray, whatever you believe in, that we get an induction date soon. I would really hope my OB has that by Monday. I am just dying to know. Anyway, I will talk to you again soon. Bye.